I've been thinking, Lavenza, when time allows, we should go and pay a visit to Gabu with Alize. Though their time together was short, I know she felt a kinship with the young child. I am down for that. I guess I was just so caught up in thinking about, well, everything, that I dozed off for a moment. My word, Lavenza, I must confess to some considerable amazement at the great trials and tribulations you and the others have recently overcome, or overcame. I must again apologize for our prolonged absence, and for the fact that we have yet to answer your many questions. As for Yida, well, all things in time, I suppose. So, Alfino, we all know he's got his mind made up. The Crystal Braves are no more. It's all over. Bam. You haven't got to go home, but you can't stay here. But Riol, he's not having it. Won't even let old Alfie finish. And there I was, worried about how to brief Papalimo on the many momentous events which we have borne witness to in recent memory. Little did I know, I need only leave Hori to it. Now here's Thancred. Oh, the Nutkin is there. I told her everything that happened. She needed to know, and I thought it would be best if it came from me. It's strange to think back on the circumstances of our first meeting. We were all so very young, so foolish, so powerless. In that moment, she departed this realm for the first. I heard her speak to me. I know this to be true, just as I know that she will one day return to us. In those final moments, she was smiling, was she not? She was proud and hopeful and looking to the future. So I will too, Lavenza. I will. I can't talk to the Nutkin. It's not as though I do not enjoy the company of so many motivated youths. However, without Isildur around, I cannot help but feel somewhat isolated. He got carried away with his training, lest you wonder, and injured his back. Alianne has been looking after him ever since. Oh, as if you wouldn't try to get rid of me at the first opportunity. Don't you drag me into this mess. But I have a precocious sibling too, and I'm sure she'd be happy to join us. Ha ha ha, believe me, I know all too well the burden that is a precocious sibling. We should trade tales over a drink sometime, or perhaps even with the four of us. I'll stay away from that one. It's a bit overwhelming, quite frankly, having spent so much time on the road, often by myself. Yet I will try to approach this as a learning experience, as I did my travels. Had I not kept an open mind after all, I doubt I would have been able to master the ethereal blade. Nor would I have benefited from the rather pointed advice I received. There is no one path, as some are given to say, and there is wisdom in exploring every school of magic, as there is in exploration of all things. Tidings from Garabanya. Garabanya, that's what I was thinking of earlier when I was talking about, like, you know, the events of 3.5 and how it, you know, it's all by Ilberd's wrongdoing, but essentially, or potentially it might be that wrongdoing that actually opens the door for us to get into Garabanya and then free Alamigo. Tataru has a request for you. Ah, Lavenza, just the hero I wanted to see. Would you mind doing me a small favor? I need you to meet me at the Diamond Forge. This won't take long, I promise. Huh. I don't even know where the Diamond Forge is. But it's somewhere here, so that's good enough. Is that the, this place, or? It would seem it is. Is this where we get the outfit? This is when we started getting outfits. Although we didn't get, well, we started. We only got it for 2 expansions. Didn't get it for Shadowbringers. Which I'm a little upset about. Or disappointed. I'm sorry to drag you away from your duties, but as I said, this won't take long. I just need you to stand perfectly still for a few moments. Right, everyone. Ready to go to work? No squirming now. Oh, and you might want to close your eyes. Oh, God. And that wry smile. There, all finished. The Warrior of Light's every measurement, from heroic head to intrepid toe. Well, wouldn't you like to know? All in good time, Lavenza. All in good time. Aha! Found you. Alphino wants everyone in the Solar for a meeting. I don't know what it's about, but he seemed to think it was very important. Go on. We have everything we need. No sense in keeping everyone waiting. How, like, over-exaggerated the animations are sometimes is humorous.
We're here. Did we miss anything?
We would not presume to begin without you, Ida. Orianger has returned to the Waking Sands, but everyone else is now present.
Yes, but for what exactly? We all have duties to attend to, Alphino, so you may dispense with the preamble.
Thank you, Elise. It is the very subject of those duties which compelled me to call this gathering. Though the Warriors of Darkness no longer pose a threat, Eorzea's many troubles demand no less of our attention. And while I stand by the decision to approach each task as we see fit, I fear our effectiveness will ultimately be diminished should we continue to act in ignorance of each other's efforts. Thus, I propose we elect a successor to Minfilia. Not to serve as a fully fledged antecedent, perhaps, but as a coordinator of operations.
Is that all? Well, then the decision seems clear. No one else has shown any enthusiasm for the role, and judging by your performance at our previous meeting, you would seem the perfect candidate. You always did have a flair for politics.
I did not mean to... That was not my intention. As my tenure as commander of the Crystal Braves comprehensively demonstrated, I lack the qualities required for such an office. I would much prefer to remain as I am now, a soldier in the field, so to speak.
Should none of our number step forward, must we then constrain some unwilling candidate to take up the position?
Well, based on merit alone, a certain adventurer would be my choice. Though I concede she might struggle to balance her new responsibilities with, let me see, slaying primals, thwarting legatuses, and feeding the orphan poor.
Thancred makes a good point. Any who would wear such a mantle would be bound by its obligations. Have we not become sufficiently familiar with each other's methods to act without an overseer? At present, I see no cause to so willingly limit one of our number.
Oh my goodness! Help! I need some help here!
Everybody looks around. Who's going to go first? Oh, Minago.
Kizaru, are you all right?
Me? I'm fine. It's this poor girl who just staggered in and collapsed on the floor that I'm worried about.
Nago! God, how did... Yashola! Please, you have to help her.
Kral, a hand if you would. Let us see about closing these wounds.
Now, we've staunched the bleeding, but it may be a while before you can move about again. Though having seen your wounds, I'm surprised you are still moving at all. Thank you. My message. It was too important to delay. I took the shortest route I could, though I knew it was more heavily patrolled. As you can see, my efforts at evasion were not entirely successful.
Honestly, you're too brave for your own good. What was so urgent that you needed to fight half the Empire to get here? You could have been killed.
I'm sorry, Ida. I had good reason. But I imagine your friends are wondering who this bloody mess of a Mikote is. My name is Minago, and I belong to the Alamegan Resistance. I came to warn Ida and Papalimo about one of our leaders. A man who calls himself the Griffin. He's always been dangerous, but he's planning something new. Something reckless.
The Griffin, you say? I've heard the name. Rumor has it your man is eager to test his claws.
Aye, and on no easy target. He means to assault Belsar's wall from the Alamegan side.
But what does the Griffin possibly hope to gain from such an attack?
From what I understand, he wants the fires of war to spread to Eorzea. And for that, he needs to control the border with Gridania.
So, he means to spark a conflict between the Alliance and the Imperial forces stationed in Alamigo, to have Eorzea's armies aid in the liberation effort, whether they will it or no.
His plan is flawed. Even should the Resistance succeed in occupying the wall, they would not be able to hold it. Imperial reinforcements would drive them out within a week.
Be that as it may, if there is even a chance that this scheme could bring about an escalation in hostilities between Eorzea and the Empire, the Alliance must be informed.
Agreed. I should depart for Limsa forthwith and seek an audience with the Admiral. Thancred, Uldar is yours. Alphino and Alize, make haste to the Twelveswood and notify the Elder Seedseer of the danger to Gridania. She will duly call a council of the Alliance leaders, whom you must be ready to receive. You will be our voice in Ishgard. Explain the situation to Sir Emeric and encourage him to send an envoy. To Taru, Krile, I leave the care of our injured messenger to you. See that she remains quiescent and her wounds closed. I believe that covers everything. Let us be about our tasks.
I suspect the ill tidings from Girabania will be held as a turning point. The beginning to a bloody end. The business of war was ever conducted with the coin of self-sacrifice. 'Twas Master Louis Soir himself who taught us that such costs are not to be ignored or denied. And so, I shall embrace them. When the time comes, I will make my choice, as you will yours.
Okay, so it's pretty clear the narrator is Papalymo. I was thinking that maybe the last time we heard it, but his normal talking is a little bit higher than that, so I wasn't sure. It sounded kind of familiar, but I'll do another sweep to see if people have... Tataru and Kral took the resistance fighter to more private chambers that she might recuperate in peace. The poor girl was in quite a state, wasn't she? I wonder what Isildur would have to say about our wounded visitor. His own injuries yet keep him abed, and I miss savoring a cup of tea alongside his usual observations. We have some training in the healing arts, so we shall take turns with Mistress Kral in caring for her patient. Ochre, in particular, seems rather eager to learn from the experience. Mistress Kral and Archon Y'shtola are truly exceptional healers, and 'twas an honor to witness their ministrations firsthand. If only I could tend to my brother's battle hurts with such proficiency. I have much study yet ahead of me. Even when casting the same incantation, the mastery of each practitioner greatly affects the efficacy of the spell, a principle that was aptly demonstrated to our two young mages here. Now, what's she on about? We were all surprised by our sudden visitor, but Hori was able to gauge the situation at a glance. He realized the Makote posed no immediate threat and permitted her to enter. But that didn't mean he wasn't alert for some manner of trap. Ah, yes, mayhap the Elder is the finer man after all. Oh, God. I believe she said her name was Minago. Her cause appeared to have been genuine, but I must confess to feeling no small degree of trepidation even as I stepped aside. After conferring with Y'shtola, we have decided to focus our attentions on the East Shroud. Someone needs to keep an eye on the border, not to mention the Sylphs. I hate leaving Nago like this, but I know Kral and Tataru will take good care of her. Yeah, this will be interesting because the only thing I can remember, like off the top of my head, for 3.5 is Belsar's Wall and like everything that happens. Well, a lot of the stuff that happens thereafter. I can't say everything. So, I'm curious to see, you know, the lead up again. God, this is such a beautiful score. Greetings, warrior of light. What business brings you to Ishgard? I see. Wait here. I will summon Sir Emmerich. It is good to see you, my friend. 'Tis but a pity it must be under such circumstances. Had Lucia not informed me of the urgency of your suit, I would certainly have sent for some wine. Woo, he is thirsty. But to business. I thank you for bringing these developments in Alamigo to our attention. Ishgard will, of course, send an envoy to attend the council in Gridania. I cannot say who will represent us, however, as the choice is not mine to make. Not mine alone, at any rate. Given the imminence of the threat, we may forego the formalities of a full assembly, but I will still need to consult my counterpart in the House of Commons prior to proceeding. Will you permit me some time to make the necessary arrangements? I thank you. Our representative, whoever we select, will require a suitable escort. Make your preparations and inform Sir Handelo that he is to lead in your absence. Yes, Lord Commander. Lavenza, pray accompany Lucia to the gates of judgment and make ready to depart for Gridania. I will have our envoy join you as soon as I can. Fury speed you on your way. An envoy for Ishgard. Lucia seems eager to set forth for Gridania. If you have no other business in the city, join me at the gates of judgment. We must be ready to depart the instant the envoy arrives. You are perhaps wondering who will represent Ishgard at the council. I was just about to say that, but I was going to wait until after talking to her. As this is a military matter, I should not be surprised if Sir Emmerich nominated himself. He is yet Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, after all. We meet again. As it happens, my counterpart in the House of Commons agreed that I should act as Ishgard's envoy. Not, I concede, that there was ever any real doubt. As Lord Commander of the Temple Knights, it is my duty to sanction any military cooperation. Be that as it may, I could not in good conscience make the decision alone. Not with the ink scarce dry in the Republic's Book of Statutes. I trust you understand, my friend. Alas, I must test your patience still further by making a brief stop at Camp Dragonhead. Given the trouble brewing in the Black Shroud, I would see that the garrison is ready to defend the border. Yeah, I honestly have no idea. Like, I've, you know, in between dialogues and stuff, I'm thinking, like, what is next? And I don't know. Like, to me, it's just like Baelsar's Wall, obviously. I am glad that Sir Americ's counterpart saw the wisdom in his coming. Few, if any, in Ishgard can claim to possess his expertise in both politics and warfare. The garrison commander waits within. Why not accompany me, Lavenza? You may see a familiar face. Ooh. Ah, nice. Lavenza, old girl, how wonderful to see you. And Sir Emmerich, too. To what do I owe these unexpected pleasures? And Honoro always has to be there with him. I will have some mulled wine brought up from the kitchens at once, if you'll excuse. Nay, do not trouble yourself, Honoro. We shall soon be on our way. Lucia, a brief summary, if you will. Yes, Lord Commander. I still really appreciate that, you know, anytime there is like an explanation or, you know, whatever, they don't have that. They just do what they just did. Humph. Those villains hardly need an excuse to wage war. Bloodletting comes as naturally as breathing to to an imperial. And thus we shall strengthen our patrols, as you suggest. We shall also be sure to communicate these developments to Lord Francel in the observatorium. I see you have everything in hand. Carry on, Commander. Surprised to see yours truly at the helm? Yeah, kinda. You and me both, old girl. I doubt I'll ever feel worthy to sit where he sat. Ugh. Oh, and now they got the picture of him up there. Yet we can but play the hand we're dealt. And with a little help from the veterans and Honoro's ceaseless chiding, I'm sure I'll muddle through. You worry not, old girl. Off to Gridania with you. So is he actually out here? Like maybe even now, because I'm not aware of any other... Well, he's here now. I shan't waste my time attempting to replace him. I can but be my best self and hope that that's enough. I shall do my utmost to see that my lord is not overwhelmed by his duties. He can be surprisingly diligent when he puts his mind to it. If he puts his mind to it. I'm actually curious now, like, after New Game Plus. You know, to come back and check if he's still there. Because if he is, that's cool, and that kind of shows how much of, like, a living world this is, you know, that, you know, things change, people, you know, move on with their lives and get new positions and so on and so forth. I bid welcome to our visitors from Ishgard. It seems so peaceful, one would scarce believe that Belsar's wall and wretched Alamigo lie but a few short mounds away. Diplomatic duties have brought me here on several occasions, but I find that I am as enraptured by the Black Shroud's beauty now as when first I laid eyes upon it. I fear that this time, however, events shall not afford us the luxury of enjoying the splendor of the forest. An allied decision. Sir Emmerich is ready to attend the council. It seems we are to have an escort to the Lotus Stand. A pleasant place to discuss unpleasant matters, is it not? That it is. They use it quite often. Yes, of course. 'Tis like that we are the last to arrive. Let us announce ourselves, shall we? Okay. I guess I was half expecting it just to go straight into the cutscene. Oh, didn't even have to do the little confirmation thing like usual. The envoy from Ishgard has arrived. Very good. This way, if you please. Ah, and the Leminzen party as well. Nice. I had hoped to slip in unnoticed, but I see I was not the only one delayed in my arrival. Greetings, Sir Imric. Admiral, always a pleasure. And Lavenza, I trust you are well. 'Tis a day for reunions, it seems. I believe you are well acquainted with my escort. Yeah, I know we last saw her there. I wonder what she's been doing. I mean, other than, because I know she was like trading martial, whatever with the people there. Lady Lavenza, I was glad to hear from Riol that the missing Scions have now been found. There is much and more I would discuss with you, but let us first attend to the issue at hand, shall we?
I bid you welcome, my friends. As you will by now be aware, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have come into possession of certain intelligence concerning recent developments in the region of Gyr Abania. It springs, I am assured, from an unimpeachable source. Is that not so, Master Alphino?
Indeed, Elder Seedseer. Our information comes directly from a member of the Resistance's inner circle, and we have no cause to doubt its veracity.
This griffin of theirs is a fool if he thinks he can hold Belsar's wall against the Empire. When the Imperials move to take it back, they will come in force, and the resulting fighting is all but certain to spill over into the Black Shroud.
That's what they're hoping for, so you have to get involved.
At the Battle of Cartano, the combined might of 3 grand companies labored to contend with the remnants of but a single Imperial legion. Alone, Gridania would be hard-pressed indeed to hold back the tide, should the Garleans turn their minds from reclamation to invasion.
May I once more convey my nation's deepest regrets for our inaction in the days prior to the calamity. 'Tis a stain upon our ledger that I would fain remove. Elder Seedseer, I do hereby request leave to deploy a defensive force within the borders of Gridania. Ishgard's return to the Alliance shall be honored by more than mere ink upon parchment.
The Doman people, too, would join any effort that weakens our common foe. We are few, but our most seasoned shinobi are at your disposal.
On behalf of my people, I offer you my humble thanks. Gridania welcomes your assistance.
It is time we set our contingency plans in motion. Is the Alliance agreed? Then let us make ready for war. Victory favors the swift, and there is much to be done.
The Council knows that Alamigo will not soon be wrested from the Empire, and its decision to bolster the border's defences seems eminently practical. Why then, brother, do you scowl so?
I agree that they have chosen the wisest course available. Indeed, the only reasonable one. Yet something feels awry. In making ready for war, is the Alliance not granting the Griffin the very thing he desired?
Yep.
Any attempt to hold the wall is doomed to failure, aye. But I wonder if we have misjudged the prize for which he plays.
I mean, haven't they already said, didn't somebody already mention that it was likely he intended for the two sides, for, you know, the Eorzean Alliance and the Garleans to fight? Presumably with the assumption that, I guess he's hoping that the Alliance wins and then is able to take back Alamigo. Unless I'm missing something. That the Council was able to reach an accord so swiftly is a heartening development in itself. I only hope my misgivings prove unfounded. Ah, good. You have yet to depart. I feared I had missed you. Sir Emmerich. Master Alphino, pleasure as always. And Mistress Alize, how wonderful to see you thus recovered. Pardon the interruption. I had hoped to thank Lavenza for serving as our escort before other duties called her away. I also wish to thank our Doman ally. Forgive me, my lord. I was but awaiting an opportune moment to join the conversation, and force of habit made me keep to the shadows. No apologies are necessary, Mistress Yugiri. I was most grateful for your interjection when I offered Ishgard's support. My nation's historic failure to heed the Alliance's pleas for aid is a matter of record. Even so, the Alliance leaders were plainly unprepared for my impromptu apology. Yeah, there's like an awkward silence. The resulting air of awkwardness might have lingered longer were it not for your timely offer of cooperation, which allowed the Elder Seedseer to accept us both. I very much appreciated the gesture. I only did my duty, Sir Emmerich. The Empire is an enemy to us all, and we are grateful for the opportunity to fight at your side. And full glad are we to have you. Pray convey my regards to the Scions, my friends. We must return to Ishgard. I was half accepting him to re-invite me to some wine. Whatever is wrong with a simple sorry or thank you? Must these politicians always make a speech out of everything? Of course. That is how we adults speak, dear sister. Huh. Mayhap the ones who like the sound of their own voice. In any case, our business here is concluded. We should be on our way as well. I love Alize. I just love her directness. And she's not wrong either. I mean, at least in my eyes. Will you accompany us to Revenant's Toll, Yugiri? Actually, I think I shall first pay a brief visit to the East Shroud. I am curious to know how Papalymo and Yida fared in their talks with the Sylphs, not to mention what has been going on at Belsar's Wall. I will join you at the Rising Stones anon. I mean, since we're here, I would say, yeah, go along. You know, check out Belsar's Wall and all that. Even now, I am astonished by how closely Mistress Alice resembles Master Alphino. Their very mannerisms are alike. From a distance, I should be hard-pressed to tell one from the other. Until they open their mouths, of course. Welcome back, Lavenza. I don't know about you, but I'm heartily glad that all of the talking is over. I understand that these council meetings are important, but do you not find it tiresome to have to weigh every word before you speak it? I doubt I will ever feel at home in the realm of politics. That said, people have been known to change, and if my brother is willing to run his own errands, anything is possible. Thank you for watching this video. Tonight's stream was amazing. The Warrior of Darkness story arc in Heavensward is great. The ending to it was just phenomenal, and it just makes me that much more excited to get back into Shadowbringers, which will be quickly, probably within the next 2 weeks, I would say, or a little bit more than 2 weeks. So if you want to see that live, or Stormblood now live, because we should be getting into that within the next few days, if you want to see that live, please join me on Twitch. The link is in the description down below. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you again for watching. Have a good one.